Are you a real estate agent looking to get more customers, or are you an agent looking to get your customers to give more referrals and send them your way? If so, please stay tuned to the end of this episode, and I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 key steps that you can do to ensure that you set yourself up for success in real estate. And as an added bonus, if you stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode, I'm going to be giving you one of my free trainings and whatnot that's going to definitely ensure that you know exactly what to do and when to do it. So that way we can build you up a long-term lucrative real estate career. Good evening. I want to talk to you today about the 6 secret tips for mastering real estate. Now, the reason these tips are important is going to be, these are going to be your core elements to making sure your real estate business stays grounded and stays where it properly serves customers. Because in real estate, the goal is to get people to spread your name around in a positive way to always continue to generate that income coming in for you. Even though you may not have went out and marketed, but your customers are going to be your best marketing agency for you, because word of mouth actually spreads faster than a social media post. And especially once you have, really good communication skills, you know exactly how to help the customer, and you know exactly what they want because you know how to actively listen to them. See, things like that is what's going to set you apart from any other agent. And that's what's going to be one of the key factors to set you up for a long-term, lucrative, successful real estate career. Tip number 1, have a friendly can-do attitude. Now, this one here should kind of go without saying, because no one really wants to do business with someone who's like lethargic or like, I can't do this. No one really wants to do business with people like that, because see, you're not doing small business. You're doing like big business. Like, you're not selling somebody something for $1.15. You're selling something for like thousands and hundreds of thousands up to the billions of dollars. So if a particular party wants you to do one thing and you have to go back and ask the other party, meaning like if the buyer wants something and you have to go back and ask the seller something, never just tell the particular party, hey, I don't know if Mr. Such and Such and Mrs. Such and Such, I don't know if they're going to go for that. Always reply with the can-do type of attitude. And the can-do attitude is going to be where you would tell your customer, you would say, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ask Mr. or Mrs. Such and Such, about this. So we're definitely going to make sure we get a proper solution. So we're going to try to meet in the middle here for you. You see how much better that right there sounds versus saying, I don't think they're going to go for like a $5,000, reduction. I don't think so. So you always want to make sure that you set yourself up with a can-do attitude, because customers love people with can-do attitudes. Tip number 2, great communication skills. Now, this one here should also be a given, but it's honestly not. See, a lot of agents don't realize the way you communicate with your customer is going to be the determining factor that sets you up for failure or success. See, some agents don't necessarily know how to communicate with their customer, and that's okay. So I'm definitely here to help you learn how to communicate with your customer. But see, that's going to be the key thing right there to making sure the deal is closed, because communication rules the nation. So if you don't know how to communicate with your customer in an effective, efficient way that they know how to communicate. So for example, let's just say, okay, like with you being an agent, you're very knowledgeable about certain industry standard, like lingo and things like that. So with the communication factor, if you know your client may not understand, MSRP, elemental P, or XY elemental X, if they don't understand this type of, industry jargon or whatnot, then do not communicate with them in that particular way like that, because they're going to be like, what in the world are you talking about? And then when you talk to them like that and they don't know the particular answer that you think that they should know to what you're talking about, then you're going to start giving that illusion that the customer is beneath you. And you never want to give that illusion, even though you may not intentionally be trying to give that illusion, but that's just the illusion that that particular thing right there cast out into the customer's brain, and actually that's all that matters, what the customer thinks about the situation. So please make sure not to use any kind of big like industry jargon that the customer may not understand. Or like honestly, another thing I noticed that some of these like agents do out here, and this is a terrible thing, but being a smart ass really isn't communicating. So please never try to be a smart ass to your customers, anything like that, because think about it, they're buying from you. They're buying from you. So everybody's brain processes things differently. So please don't try to communicate in like a smart aleck, kind of way with the customer, because that's going to be the quickest way to get customers to run away from you and never tell nobody about who you are or anything like that, because nobody wants to deal with a smart aleck, a wise guy, when they're spending their hard-earned money. Tip number 3, know the property. Now, this one here or whatnot is very important, because whenever you're doing real estate deals, it's best to know the property like the back of your hand. I know you may be thinking, Tony, I sell 75 or 80 houses a year or whatnot. How in the world can I, keep track of every single property? Well, I completely understand. But see, if you want to be a top elite real estate agent, you have to do certain things that's going to up the ante in your business. So you have to do certain things that ensure that you set yourself up for success. And knowing the property is going to be the best way to ensure that, for one, that you know what you're talking about with the customer. Because see, customers like when an agent is very knowledgeable, like quick on the draw, versus picking up the telephone, calling back down to the office and asking what the specs are for this particular cabinet right here, or asking what the specs are for this particular dining room area right here. When the customer quite naturally figures that you're the agent, that you should like know this off the top of your head, just like you know that song that you still sing from the 6th grade that you know off the top of your head. It's the same exact thing. And see, that's what customers are assuming. Customers are assuming once they ask you a question that they want you to be Johnny on the spot and answer the question, because that puts you as the authority. If you have to pick up the phone and call back to the home office like ET and ask somebody else what are the specs on this particular room right here, the customer is going to immediately not want to pull the trigger, subconsciously, honestly, because that's going to make you not seem like the authority. And the customer is going to kind of take a step back and be like, damn, I need to be talking to that person who they just called. I need to have them as my agent because they're very knowledgeable. Because the customers hate having their time wasted. So if you can build a regimen, like a routine, so that way on most of these houses that you sell, like jot down certain information that's key and critical on every single house. Because sometimes you may not want to take your whole little flip sheet with you and everything with everything on it. So maybe have like a quick little cheat sheet, with you. So that way, if the customer asks you intricate details, you could have those intricate details ready and on standby. Tip number 4, ask for referrals. Now, in my opinion, the best time to ask for referrals is when you just had finished the transaction. Either they purchased the home from you, or either you just sold their home. That's the absolute best time, in my professional opinion, is to ask for a referral. Especially if you, the agent, having done a phenomenal job on that transaction right there, like you was knowledgeable about the property, you had great communication with the customer, like you treated them well, like everything just was in, simpatico, just unison, everything was going really good. And especially if those emotions was going on, those positive emotions like that. And then you ask the person, hey, if you by chance know anyone who wants to buy or sell a home, I do a XYZ amount of commission per referral. See, once somebody is hot and ready to buy, like super hot and ready, just like a pizza fresh out the oven, once you got people inside that hot state right there, they will be more inclined to quickly give you referrals at that particular time, because their brain is just, is exploding with, happiness. Either they just purchased their dream home, or they just sold their home to go buy their dream home. So it's all an emotional factor right here. So again, the prime time to do and ask for the referral is whenever the customer is prime, they're hot, they've already purchased, and they're just, enthused with positive emotions. Now, the next time that's great to ask a customer for a referral is maybe within about a month after they have either purchased the home or either sold the home, because their brain is still going to be thinking about you, and they're still going to be thinking about the great, fantastic things that you've done or whatnot during this sale to acquire it. So as long as you always make sure that you take really good care of every single customer that you interact with, this is going to be the best way for them to be happy to give you a referral. Tip number 5, track your mileage and cost. Now, before I get into this one here, quick disclaimer. I am not an income tax professional, nor am I trying to be. This is just general information here to help you in the betterment and pursuit of you having a better long-term real estate career. Now, track your mileage and costs basically mean anytime that you drive to a client, anytime that you go to a showing, a listing, anytime you go pick up paperwork from any kind of your PO boxes, anything like that, if you track your miles that you actually drive, you could actually write this stuff off at the end of the year, but you have to make sure that you have your business set up in such a way that you can do this right here. And so by you being a business owner, you should have a business account. But if you don't have a business account, I highly recommend to go get a actual business account and, do everything the proper way so you can, get the certain perks and benefits of being a actual business owner. Now, another thing too, also track your cost. Fuel is a cost. Fuel cost. So let's just say if you have a showing or a listing that's, let's say, 75 miles away, okay? And let's just say once you get to the property, your client, they don't show up. And you call the client and you're like, hey, Mr. or Mrs. John C. Client, what happened? We supposed to have a showing or a listing today. What happened? And the client is like, oh, well, I didn't want to come, or, oh, I had this right here happen, or this right here happened or whatnot. So at the end of the day, you wasted your time, but not only you wasted your time waiting for this particular client to show up who never did, you also wasted gas. Now you got to drive another 75 miles back or whatnot. Now you done wasted 150 miles worth of gas. Now, imagine if you had 17 to 25 people every single year doing that to you. And depending on the type of vehicle that you drive, that particular amount of gas right there, that could be 60, 80, $100, just depending on what kind of vehicle you drive. So it's best to always have like some kind of tracking app to, like track your mileage, and something to also track like your expenses. So that way at the end of the year, if you have everything set up the correct way, you can take the actual benefits of, writing certain things off. Tip number 6, take care of your clients. Now, this one here is something that most people don't really think about, but your clients are the reason you're in business. So once they make a purchase from you like that, like a $300,000 purchase, it's best to know how to take care of your client. It doesn't hurt anything for you to know their birthday. Send them a birthday card, or either call them and take them out to like a nice birthday dinner. See, things like that is going to be how you build a hellified client base. And so whenever like the market crashes or whenever things aren't going a certain way, you have a solid contact database. So that's how you do that. Because the more nicer you are to your clients genuinely, the more they're going to be enthused to actually pass your name around and everything. So if you know how to actually take care of people, people will always take care of you. Because if you think about it, I guarantee you, if you check your inbox right now with the companies who you spend money with right now, they sent you some kind of email or something like that for like Black Friday. And I guarantee you, you probably looked at the email and opened one of the email links up and made a purchase because they took care of you. They gave you an additional 25% off because you was a dedicated subscriber. See, once you know how to take care of your customers, it's a mental mind game. they will be happy to go out and pass your name and your business along. And just like I guarantee you with this Black Friday stuff you just purchased, when Christmas comes around and your friends and family come over to your home and see these nice Black Friday things, they're going to say, "Ooh, where did you get this right here from?" "Oh, I got this right here from such and such. Hey, they got them on sale still. Why don't you go get you one?" See, that's what I mean by taking care of customers. And in real estate, again, it doesn't hurt you on your customer's birthday or their anniversary or like their, some kind of special occasion. It doesn't hurt to spend 1 hour to take them out to a nice lunch. It doesn't have to be nothing spectacular. It doesn't have to be no 13-star restaurant for $15,000 a plate. I mean, if you roll like that, that's cool, but it doesn't have to be anything like that. It can just be some kind of casual, nice sit down place where you make the customer feel important. And see, that's what it's all about. It's that emotion, that human touch, that human emotion that's going to make the customer, happy to continue to send business your way. Because look how you taking care of this customer. This customer purchased a home from you last year, but the next year you took them out for a nice birthday dinner. Imagine how good that's going to make that person feel. And that's what it's all about. Making customers feel good, like making them feel as a family, as a whole, as a unison, as a group and everything. Because you can go further in life in a group than you can by yourself, because no one is an island. If you like this episode or you found it useful, please press that like and subscribe button, as this actually helps my channel grow. And I want to say a big thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end of this episode, because you did. I would like to give you a free bonus right here. Now, if you are in need of help, if you're an agent and you're in need of help on these 6 key tips right here, I am offering a free 2-hour training. And I will drop the link below on this episode right here. But this is going to be an intensive 2-hour training, free of charge to you, because you stuck with me all the way to the end of the episode. And this training is going to make sure that you know how to properly serve your customer. You know how to treat customers. You know the right mindset to be in when you're doing these real estate deals right here. And so again, that's my bonus to you for sticking with me all the way to the end. And that about wraps it up for today's episode. Until next time, I'll catch you later.